What is up, everybody? And I am blurry, so sorry about that. And we are live. Welcome, everybody, to the Crypto Sherpa Show, where I cover the latest cryptocurrency news articles to keep you up to date on what's going on in this crypto world, because so much happens so fast. So it's like, I'm looking at the charts today. It's like Bitcoin was going down. I thought it was being held down because of the market structure bill vote going on. But I think something happened with Trump and they delayed tariffs or everything. But look at the spike we just had literally 2 hours ago. Like when I showed up to work, I was like, okay, we're at 90, 80. It's like a nice little low price to buy in, maybe and go a little bit lower. But then boom, it just went up. So all the levels are saying buy, buy, buy right now. Let's take a look at those technicals. Like the chart just shoots up by. We are at a 9 there, and then moving averages are by. Oscar, they're still neutral. I definitely got to go through one of my old PowerPoints from one of the classes I did here at the Crypto Club to really go over these market indicators again. Like what says what? Like if the relative strength index is this, then that means we're bullish or bearish. I really got to go through those technical analysis charts again. But currently Bitcoin's at 91,000. Very nice. But what else is going on in the Bitcoin space? I think El Salvador just added a new Bitcoin monument at their largest airport. And here it is. Welcome to Bitcoin country. And I think behind it, it's showing like El Salvador's Bitcoin purchase history, which they did just purchase another Bitcoin in the new year. And then everyone on Twitter is like going, proof, I can confirm it's in the airport. This was Trey Sellers, Infinity, hashtag 21 million. And then we got Smith. Also, like a lot of people are just taking photos in front of it. So El Salvador is definitely Bitcoin country. So that's pretty cool that they got that in the airport for when people land. It's like, oh, Bitcoin, awesome. And let's see, what else is going on in the crypto Bitcoin news on Twitter? Breaking news, Theo Vaughn, the 5th most listened to podcast in the entire world, gets paid in Bitcoin. Let's hear this really fast.
Now, I do want to say that MoonPay is one of the biggest partners of our show, which we're grateful for. And they've also allowed me to accept my payment from them in Bitcoin. Yep, that's how I'm doing it.
So, even Theo Vaughn himself is accepting Bitcoin. I didn't even know that. Like, I felt like he was a Bitcoin guy, but didn't realize MoonPay was a main sponsor of him, and that's how he accepts his payment through his podcast in Bitcoin. So, really cool. That was awesome. I love Theo Vaughn. He is such a funny guy. Like, my favorite quote, or just funniest one, is just goes, really makes you want to kick a fat kid in Walmart. I just laughed at so much. So that's pretty cool that Theo is accepting Bitcoin. And yeah, I wonder how many other people are going to like probably partner or get like a sponsorship by MoonPay to incorporate it, or whatever other companies. There's so many companies out there coming to allow you to get paid in Bitcoin now. So yeah, this is pretty cool news. And then let's see. Also, Trump rolls out pardon for FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried. So good. We don't need that man free. Like what he did was truly illegal with FTX and everything. Fake bank, fake numbers, just taking people's money, stealing it. So yeah, so FTX founder Sam Bankman should stay there. And thank you, Trump, for keeping that, because everyone's wondering like who's Trump's going to pardon. He pardoned Ross Ulbright. Did he do Roger Ver? I forgot if he did or not. But then he also did CZ. So everyone's like going, which crypto guys are you going to like pardon or whatnot? But luckily, we realized like FTX has no intent to do that. So yeah, there was an article on it, but we don't really need to go through it. Just someone mentioned to him, it's like, what is your thoughts? And he said, nope, we're not pardoning him. So yep, there you go. So FTX will still serve out his time. And But let's start going into the news now. What I titled this article on, be careful with public Wi-Fi's out there and crypto. Now, it's totally fine to use your phone as not your main vault wallet. Like you should always have multiple crypto wallets, maybe a separate computer, maybe it's a Calyx Solutions crypto laptop that we offer. But if you have a crypto on a computer, you're not going to be taking that everywhere to Walmart, McDonald's, Starbucks, popping on their Wi-Fi, check your crypto account. You don't do that. So yeah, there's a lot of hidden risks out there. But if you're on like your phone and say you have $500 on here, totally fine. Like this is your mobile wallet for just everyday transactions. But you don't want to be logging into your main crypto wallet that has all your crypto and everything on there into the public Wi-Fi. So let's go through this new news article from Cointelegraph to showing the hidden risks of public Wi-Fi and how a single approval wiped a crypto wallet out there. So a crypto user who lost $5,000 from a hot wallet after a stay at a hotel said the real culprits were open Wi-Fi. So yep, open Wi-Fi is definitely a risk and vulnerability out there. So a casual lobby phone call and then one careless wallet approval, boom, his crypto was gone. But this was his hot wallet. So hot wallets are these wallets that you see up here in the corner. They're linked to your web browser. So I have like MetaMask on here, or I got Eternal Wallet, which takes me over there. I have the Unisat wallet. So these are Web3 hot wallets out there. So that's the one that got hacked by him. But let's continue on with the news article. So a crypto user known as the Smart Ape said that he lost about $5,000 from a hot wallet after spending 3 days in a hotel. Not because he clicked on a phishing link, but because he made a series of stupid mistakes, including using an open Wi-Fi network and taking a phone call in the lobby and then approving what looked like a routine wallet request. Now, the incident analyzed by security firm Hackin from Cointelegraph shows attackers can combine network-level tricks with social cues and wallet UX blind spots to drain funds, and days after the victim signs a seemingly benign message. So it didn't seem so like threatening. It just got happened, and then a couple days later, boom, funds were drained. But how did the hotel Wi-Fi became a threat? Well, according to the victim's account, the attack began when he connected his laptop to the hotel's open Wi-Fi network, and then a captive portal with no password, and then started working as usual. Nothing risky, just scanning Discord and X and just checking balances out there. And then here is Smart Ape's tweet: "How did I got drained after using the public Wi-Fi?" But yeah, a few days ago, he spent 3 days in a very good hotel with a family for the end of the year holidays. One day after leaving the hotel, my wallet was completely drained. I didn't understand what happened. I just hadn't clicked on any phishing links or signed any malicious transactions. So what he didn't know was that an open network allows all guests effectively share the same local environment. Now, Dmitrio Yasmanovich, cybersecurity compliance lead at Hackin, told Cointelegraph that attackers can exploit address resolution protocol, the ARP spoofing, and the domain systems manipulation, or a rogue access point to inject malicious JavaScript into otherwise legitimate websites. So even if the DeFi front end itself is trusted, the execution context may no longer be. Now, when talking, crypto paints a target. So the attacker quickly found out that the user was involved in crypto after just overhearing him discuss his holdings on the phone call he had in the lobby. Now that information narrowed the target and then hinted at a likely wallet stack. In this case, it was in Phantom on Solana, which was not itself compromised as a wallet provider. But the physical world exposure of your crypto profile is a long-standing risk. Now, Bitcoin engineer and security expert Jameson Lopp has repeatedly argued that openly talking about crypto and flaunting wealth is one of the riskiest things you can do. And that's the thing we do teach here too. It's just like when we're here at the club, it's like the crypto is your own information alone. You don't need to be spewing it out everywhere to the world saying, hey, I got 1 Bitcoin in my wallet. No, that's just unethical. You don't do that. It's like the same as going up to a bus stop and there's a homeless person sitting there, and here you rock up and you're like your very fancy CEO and go, hey buddy, I just made $200,000 of Bitcoin. It's like, you don't do that. So this is a big risk that you just really shouldn't do. If you have crypto, it's your own knowledge. You don't even let people know how much you have. So if someone's asking you, how much do you got? Rule number 1, don't tell them. You just go, oh, I have enough. Or you just go, oh yeah, I looked into that. Like, Bitcoin's really cool. You just never say exactly what you do. So that is one way to stay safe. But yeah, just talk about crypto openly in the public and you're on their Wi-Fi is risky. But cyber attacks do not start at the keyboard. Yasmanovich warned, they often start with observation, public conversations about crypto holdings, and it can act as a reconnaissance of helping attackers choose the right tools, wallets, and timing. Now, how did a single approval drain the wallet? Well, the key moment happened when the user signed what he thought was just a normal transaction, swapping on a legitimate decentralized financial front-end app out there. Now, the injected code replaced a piggybacked a wallet request that asked for permission rather than a token transfer. So it was piggybacking on one of these transaction or permission requests. Now, Yasmanovich noted that this pattern fits a broader and increasingly common class of attacks known as approval abuse. The attacker doesn't steal keys or doesn't drain funds immediately. Instead, they just obtain standing permissions and then wait, sometimes days or weeks before executing the actual transfer. Now, by the time the victim noticed the wallet had been emptied of its Solana and other tokens, he said at that point, the attacker had everything he needed. He waited until I left the hotel and to transfer my SOL, move my tokens, and then send my NFTs to another address. Now, the victim's wallet was a secondary hot wallet, so the damage was limited, but the sequence shines a light on how little is required to swipe users' funds. One untrusted network, one moment of inattention, and one signal approval, it's gone. Now, Yasminovich recommended that treating all public networks as hostile when traveling, avoid open Wi-Fi for wallet interactions, use a mobile hotspot or a reputable VPN, and only transact from hardened, up-to-date devices with minimal browser attack services. And that's like kind of what I need to do right now. If you take a look at my computer, no, you can't. It's actually blocking it, the banner, but it shows that I do need a computer update. So if you have computer updates that need to happen, do it, because you need to have a fully up-to-date laptop, a computer, or phone, just to be able to sometimes work together and appropriately with other network wallets out there, or even applications. Like I remember I had someone come down here saying like he was trying to get into his Trezor wallet on his computer that's been completely outdated. It's like, I can't see any of my cryptos. It's because maybe the Trezor wallet was updated, but his computer wasn't. So the computer was trying to connect to like the updated wallet, but just couldn't. So it was missing out some things. So it's important to update your computer and software, because again, when we do these updates, sometimes it's solving a patch or a bug that there was a vulnerability out there. So definitely do those updates out there. And again, avoid just using the public Wi-Fi. If you do, use your own mobile hotspot. Most phones even have these nowadays. You just turn it on and then boom, you connect your computer to that, but not the public Wi-Fi. Now, users should also segment funds across wallets, treat every on-chain approval as a high-risk event to be regularly reviewed and revoked, and then mainly strong physical operational security by never discussing your holdings or wallet details in public. So yeah, so let's be aware of that, because again, don't be like this person. Just a simple mistake happened, and then boom, all his crypto is, well, not all his crypto is gone as an isolated set, but imagine if it was all of his crypto. So that would be good. So be wary of where you're logging in with your crypto wallets out there. Like again, don't do it at McDonald's, don't do it at Starbucks. You're at a hotel, you're on vacation. If you're doing crypto stuff, you're not going to be on their Wi-Fi. You'll be on your own. So just be aware of that. But yeah, so I just want to keep you guys aware on that news out there and what's going on out there. So stay safe so none of us lose our money. Now let's continue on with the news. What else is going on with Bitcoin? Is it getting greener? Well, that's right. Well, it looks like now 56.7% of Bitcoin mining is green. Now here's how it could be even cleaner. So how can we get cleaner? Let's find out. So Bitcoin mining is accelerating renewable energy deployment, replacing fossil fuel heating, expanding energy access, and then cutting methane emissions at a scale. So more than 56% of Bitcoin's network is now powered through sustainable means and is set to rise further as Bitcoin mining brings more green energy and projects online, according to tech investors and ESG expert Daniel Baton. Now, Bitcoin mining could be the century's most important sustainable innovation, said Baton in a lengthy X post on Thursday. He pointed out that a lot has changed since 2021, when Bitcoin mining was powered by just 34% sustainable energy. Now, the latest data from Baton, Willy Woo, and the Digital Asset Research Institution shows that just a little over 4 years later, 56.7% of Bitcoin mining is now sustainable energy. However, Baton argues that Bitcoin does more than just use green energy. It can also help the industry grow. Bitcoin is removing bottlenecks to on-grid renewables. Bitcoin mining removes major bottlenecks that slow down green energy adoption by acting as an immediate buyer for renewable projects stuck in a 10 to 15-year interconnection queues, he said. Now, this can help cut renewable projects' payback periods from 8 years to 3 and 3.5 years, making clean energy investments more attractive. Now, Bitcoin mining operations also provided flexible demand that stabilized grids with variable renewable sources, giving operators confidence to add more solar and wind capacity. Now, here's a chart showcasing like the Bitcoin miners by power source. So let's see. We have 61.5% of Bitcoin mining companies use greater than 98% of sustainable power. So let's see. So 17.9% is greenhouse negative Bitcoin mining. 43.6% is powered by sustainable energy greater than 98% sustainable energy. And then let's see what's over here. 32.1% is powered by mixed energy sources. And then 6.4% is by fossil fuels. So with the first guy of the greenhouse, destruction of stranded methane, with the power by sustainable energy is stabilizing the power grids and improving economic viability of intermediate wind and solar power. So now replacing fossil fuels with clean electric heat. So around 50% of the global energy does go into heating, which is mostly fossil fuel based. Now, Bitcoin mining waste heat offers a clean alternative, he argued. Now, examples given included district heating by mining firm Mara, which warms 80,000 residents in Finland, around 2% of the country's population using Bitcoin mining heat. And now multiple companies now offer Bitcoin-powered home heaters, and there are multiple industrial applications such as solar-powered Bitcoin mining to deliver heat for greenhouses in the Netherlands. I even saw like a Twitter post yesterday, it was a water heater with Bitcoin mining. So that was pretty cool. It was I forget which conference it was at, but you had a person like in a tub just showing like how it was like working. Like here's the miner, it's heating the water, and just feel how warm the water gets. So that was a pretty cool idea for just using the excess heat that the Bitcoin miners produce to do that project. But let's talk about now funding the renewable energy and R&D. Now, Bitcoin mining has been responsible for reviving mothballed renewable energy technologies, such as OTEC, the Ocean Thermal Energy Technology, said Batten. Now, OTEC is a renewable technology mothballed since the 1980s. Due to the cost constraints, miners can help to solve the problem by providing revenue without costly grid connections. Now, Bitcoin mining also powers microgrids in rural Africa through gridless compute, bringing electricity to 8,000 previously unconnected homes in Kenya, Malawi, and Zambia. And here is the Bitcoin can benefit ocean thermal energy technology sourced by Mackay. So let's say we have the offshore OTEC future with warm water intake, with the temperature being like 25 degrees Celsius. Then we have mixed water return, temperatures now at 16 degrees. Then we have the water intake temperature. Those will flow into the 100 megawatt power, and then also to the onshore OTEC operations, which then leads to all the homes out there. So that's pretty cool. Now, eliminating harmful methane emissions. So yeah, by going green, we're definitely doing that. So Bitcoin mining tackles three major carbon-intensive practices: gas peaker plants, landfill methane, and oil field flaring. Several innovative companies are now utilizing this otherwise wasted primary emission to mine Bitcoins, preventing it from just simply being burnt off and increasing emissions out there. Now, the combined impact of the carbon negative Bitcoin mining is that mitigation has already reached 7% of the Bitcoin's network emissions, Batten said. And then he also concluded with that Bitcoin mining has emerged as a linchpin for addressing four systematic barriers to climate's progress, and demonstrated by both real-world data and case studies. So Bitcoin's proving to solve a lot of that. So yes, that's pretty cool that Bitcoin's like increased, like what was that, 22%? So in 2021, we were at 34% sustainable energy, and then just 4 years, 56.7%. So, and they're saying it could go further. So that's pretty cool. The Bitcoin mining just getting greener and greener, and also just helping stabilize energy grids out there too, because it's already been proven for it. So that was pretty awesome. But that is all the Bitcoin news I have for you today. Just about like really, well, that's really the only Bitcoin article I did have for you on the Bitcoin mining. Also like the hidden risks of Wi-Fi security. But then, I guess also the Theo Vaughn accepting Bitcoin payments through MoonPay. So that was pretty cool. So that's the Bitcoin news I have for you. Let's dive into some altcoins now and hear what Vitalik Buterin, the co-founder of Ethereum, has to say about the token and how it really relates to Linux. It's like the Linux of blockchain. So let's go through this article to hear a little bit about this. So the Ethereum co-founder made the case that Ethereum occupies a role similar to Linux operating system, but for transferring value and risk on the internet. So let's hear what he says. So the Ethereum network is a decentralized layer 1 blockchain that executes smart contracts and is analogous to the open source operating system Linux. Now, according to Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin, Linux and Ethereum are both open source and featured custom tailored implementations. Now, Linux achieves this through developers building custom modifications of software, while Ethereum does it through its layer 2 scaling networks. Now, that's what Buterin said. And Linux has provided value to billions of individuals, enterprises, and state governments without compromising now on its open source ethos or decentralization, Buterin said, adding that we must make sure that Ethereum Layer 1 works as the financial and ultimately identity, social, and governance home for individuals and organizations who want a higher level of autonomy and give them access to the full power of the network without dependence on intermediaries. Now, one metaphor for Ethereum is BitTorrent, and how that the peer-to-peer network combines decentralization and mass scale. Ethereum's goal is to do the same thing, but with consensus. Now, another metaphor for Ethereum is Linux. Linux is free and open source software and does not compromise on this. Linux is quietly depended on billions by people and enterprises worldwide. Governments regularly use it. Now, there are many operating systems based on Linux that pursue mass adoption, and there are Linux distributions, e.g. Arc, that are highly purist, minimalistic, and technologically beautiful, and then focus on making the user feel powerful, not comfortable. Now, the analogy highlights that Ethereum's foundation's long-term goals of making Ethereum an operating system for the internet that allows for distributed computation, transferring value and risk, and reaching consensus on the internet. Now, Ethereum has layer 2s for every flavor, but tension persists. There are 127 layer 2 networks within the Ethereum ecosystem at the time of this writing, according to the L2B. Now, critics of Ethereum's layer 2 scaling approach say that there are too many layer 2 networks competing with Ethereum and then cannibalizing the base layer's revenue, which plummeted following a Deacon upgrade in March 2024. And yeah, when we had that upgrade with Ethereum X, a Deacon, yeah, it really stifled all the transactional values from it. So, so there is a big debate beyond that. Now, proponents of Ethereum's scaling approach say that the diverse ecosystem of layer 2 networks gives Ethereum users optionality and better user experience. Now, the modular scaling strategy potentially allows Ethereum to have mainly high throughput chains built on top of the base layer. We have Anurag Arjun, co-founder of the Ethereum Layer 2 Polygon, and he told Cointelegraph that the underappreciated beauty of this roll-up centric roadmap architecture is that it allows multiple teams to experiment with different execution environments and then different block times, Arjun said. However, a torrent of high-throughput chains without true blockchain interoperability will lead to greater ecosystem fragmentation, trapping users' liquidity within its isolated pools and giving users a worse experience, he said. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's so we have the high through point where it's just people get stuck on one network and can't really get bridged to anywhere else. So having too many might not be too great. But where was I even going with that with the Ethereum layer 2s out there? So too much is bad, but also too little is good, because again, it's unappreciated. He was saying it's everyone gets to try their own ecosystem and not just stuck using one. So again, it's a win-lose situation, but again, it is really it is a seriously comparison to Linux out there. It's free to use, anyone can build on top of it. You want to build a layer 2, go for it. But that was just how Vitalik Buterin was actually just talking about the comparison with it. I always sharing some news bits on Ethereum, the second largest coin by market cap out there. So I always like to see what they do. And again, I consider Ethereum, I said it yesterday's show, I always considered it as the digital steel of the blockchain technology, because you want to build stuff on top of it versus Bitcoin as the digital gold. You want it as a store of value. So I guess this does make sense with that. But what else is going on with Ethereum? We have the largest holder. Is it one of the largest holders? But SharpLink just deployed $170 million worth of its ETF on Linea to boost its staking yield. So not only are they purchasing it, they are staking it to just continue earning more revenue, securing the Ethereum network, making it stronger, and then earning a yield beyond it. So that's what beauty of staking does. Just lock away your coins and let it earn for you. So that's the Ethereum news we have. And now moving on to our final news article, it's Dogecoin. I have not had a Dogecoin news article in so long. What is going on with this meme coin out there? It was the first one out there. What even happened to the Dogecoin millionaire? Did he ever sell, or did he move it to another coin out there, another project? But yeah, so I would like to share this article with you. I didn't read it yet. I just wanted to, it's when you get a new coin on there, it's oh man, I haven't brought this up in a while. Let's share the news. What's going on with this project? So Dogecoin targets Japan in a new real-world asset and adoption push. So what are they doing here? So House of Doge, the corporate arm of the Doge Foundation, says it has struck a partnership framework with 2 Japan-focused firms to explore localized Dogecoin adoption and real-world asset initiatives, putting Japan at the center of its next ecosystem expansion effort. Now, Dogecoin plots Japan expansion. In a Thursday press release dated January 8th, House of Doge said it has agreed at a tripartite corporation framework with ABC Co., Ltd., and Ryu Japan Inc. Now, the arrangement is framed as a roadmap for future collaborations rather than just a single product launch, but it spells out several lines of work that points towards regulated tokenization and payment style integrations tailored to the Japanese market. Now, this partnership reflects our continued focus on supporting thoughtful real-world expansion of the Dogecoin ecosystem. The Marco Margiotta, CEO of House of Doge, said in the release, Japan represents a natural and culturally aligned market for Doge, given its strong embrace of digital innovation, and we are pleased to explore opportunities alongside ABC and Ryu Japan that support responsible innovation, real-world utility, and long-term ecosystem growth. Now, House of Doge said the agreement outlines potential cooperation areas designed to leverage the strength of each party in support of the ecosystem growth. The framework highlights efforts around promoting and adopting gold assets-backed stablecoins, as well as regulated-oriented work connected to listings with real-world asset tokens under the Japan's Green List framework, which it also references establishing a joint fund within the Dogecoin ecosystem and pushing next-generation Web3 through real-world use cases. Now, this inclusion of Green List pathway is notably because it foregrounds compliance and market structure considerations rather than the meme-driven branding that historically defined Doge in the public imagination. Now, at the same time, the release does not specify which assets would be tokenized and what gold-backed stablecoins would like in practice, or whether any on-chain issuance would be directly tied to Dogecoin versus the adjacent infrastructure. Now, the partners are positioned as complementary. Ryu Japan is describing as supporting business development and localization in Japan, while ABC is presented as bringing a token economy digital smart contract deployment or development, and then regulatory alignment with a focus on real-world assets, and then compliant Web3 integration. Now, House of Doge's role is framed as ecosystem coordination and infrastructure investment, with the press release casting the partnership as part of a broader international strategy. Now, together, the company says that they intend to support localized and responsible expansion of Dogecoin-related initiatives in Japan. Through the release stops short of naming specific merchants, financial institutions, pilot programs, or timelines. Now, House of Doge used the announcement to reinforce its broader narrative that Dogecoin's next phase is about practical utility, payment financial products, tokenization, rather than purely cultural relevance. House of Doge is the official corporate arm of the Dogecoin Foundation, committed to advancing Dogecoin as a widely accepted and decentralized global currency by investing in the necessary infrastructure to integrate Dogecoin into everyday commerce. Now, House of Doge is building secure, scalable, and efficient systems for real-world use. And it adds to the scope spans payment and financial products to real-world asset tokenization and then cultural partnerships, arguing that this is the next era of crypto utility where Dogecoin goes beyond just a meme. Well, if it goes beyond just a meme, it would have to change its name. Dogecoin, like, that's just how we know it. The Doji, the Shiba Inu. It's not the Shiba Inu token, but the actual dog. But it's just like, it's a good effort on Dogecoin. Like, they're getting out of just being, they're trying to get out of just being a meme out there. But I don't know how they're going to do it with these partnerships to like just get practical utility. Again, they want to fix it up to be an actual payment. They want it to be a financial product. They got to focus on tokenization. So can they do it? You never know. Anything's possible in this world, right? So that's Dogecoin's plan and how they're targeting Japan for the new real-world asset. So that is it. That's the news I have for you. What is our fear and greed and index telling us on this Friday afternoon? Well, we are at a 41 greed, 41. We're neutral. So we're making our way back down to fear. But why is that? We just saw the Bitcoin price like have a nice little spike, but is it going downwards again? Let's switch this down to the 24-hour mark. So okay, so after that 10 o'clock spike, looks like we are kind of making our way back down again. Could it continue? Well, that's a wait, but again, I'm hoping we touch 89 again, and then I'm buying back in with my little Bitcoin trading portfolio, going back and forth, buying the lows, selling the tops, and just playing with its volatility, and that's pretty fun right now. But let's take a look at the other coins right now before we head out. Where is everything at? Ethereum's currently sitting at $3,100. XRP is $2.09. Did it get a pump? Well, let me take a look at XRP, because everyone's saying, oh, that XRP pump happened. It's like, what do you mean? The past 3 days, it was at 220, 215, now 209. Okay, here's the week-long chart. Okay, I guess it did have a pump. It went up to $2.40. I missed that last week. No, actually, I guess I was coming back from the holidays then. So I guess XRP did have a pump, but it looks like it's making its way down too. Kind of following Bitcoin, as Ian would say. But let's see, any other coins out there? Solana's at 137, Tron's at 29 cents. Let's see, Tether's at 99 cents, USDC's at 99.9 cents, and that coin's always going to be $1. For those of you new out there, again, I feel like I've seen it all already, but like, if you think you're going to invest in a stable coin and hope it goes up, you are sadly mistaken. It's always going to be pegged to the dollar, 1-to-1. That's it. So it's either hovering from the 0.99999 cents to $1 to $1.000001. So just be aware, guys, if you're trying to get that World Liberty Finance stable coin, that RLUSD XRP stable coin, or even the Frontier token that Wyoming just came out, it's just going to stick to $1 peg. So don't picture it as an investment, because it's just going to stay exactly the same as if you just left it in fiat. So just wanted to share that news with you. But everyone, I hope you have an awesome Friday. Yep, it's the weekend. Have some fun, guys. Go out there, touch some grass, or touch the ocean. I'm here in Florida, so that's what I'll be doing. Just escape right now the news. It's always good to step away from the charts. Let's get some fresh air. Align yourself, get centered again, and then come back. We'll come back the following week, nice and refreshed, and we'll be bringing you more crypto news. So everyone, have an awesome weekend. I love you, and see you guys next time.
What if I told you a truck driver cracked the code to building a crypto empire? Meet Bitcoin Ben. He went from driving 18-wheelers to creating 6 different ways for regular people to stack Bitcoin and build wealth. This isn't just another crypto course. This is a complete ecosystem where you earn while you learn. First up, the confidential bulk purchase program. Get Bitcoin at wholesale prices through group buying power. Then there's Home to HODL. Convert your home equity directly into Bitcoin instead of cash. Need funding? The Loans for Bitcoin program gets you the capital to buy more crypto. Want passive income? Private Key Capital puts your Bitcoin to work. Hungry for something different? Bitcoin Ben's tokenized beef lets you invest in real cattle backed by blockchain technology. And if you want to mine? Bitcoin Ben's mining program gets you started with the right equipment and knowledge. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club pays you to learn. Earn 10% on direct referrals, 5% on second level, 2% on third level. This might be the only membership where you make more than you pay. Ben went from 10 years behind the wheel to becoming the world's most unlikely crypto expert. Now he's sharing everything through live training, community events, and proven systems that work. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines? Join Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today and start stacking sats while building your financial future. Your truck driving days are over. Your crypto empire starts now.